Hello guys, you're welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you the four views in Power BI. So you can come to the left hand side, you can see the four views over here. So the first view is called the report view. So this is where this is the environment where we create our dashboards. You see our visual over here. We explained in the other video, this is the visualization panes where you choose your panes that you're going to use, whether you're going to use cluster bar chart for your visual. This is where you come to choose them, or you want to use a map or a table. This is where you come and choose. Okay, so we're going to create a video where I'll be showing you how to use the visualization pane. Okay, so over here is the list of data. We have the customers table, we have the region table, the sales table, sales rep table, and the web events table. So if you come over here, you will see the list of columns in this table. So just click on it, you'll see the list of columns. Okay, so let's just head on to our views and let's explain them. So this first view is called the report view. So this is where you create your visual. Okay, and these are the tools you can use. This is the new visual, the text box. We'll get to use all of them in the next video. We'll be showing you how to create your visual and new measures and quick measures. We're going to explain them. So now let's look at this view. So this view, the next view is the table view, and this is where you have a picture of your tables. You view your table. So this is a customer table. So if you want to check through the region table, how it looks like, you just click on here, come over here, click on the region table. You can see that it has changed the region table. So in the region table, we have the region ID, the region name. So let's just look at the sales table and see. So this is the sales table. There is a column that is inside the sales table. So let's just look at the sales data table. How it looks like. Okay, so this is the sales data table. This is also this is where you can actually create a new measure over here. So we are going to explain in the next video what the new measure is. Sorry, let's just fix that. So we're going to see what the new measures is and the quick measure and the new column and as well as the new table. We are going to have a view of it. Okay. So the next view is called the model view. Now this is where you see how it is being created, the relationship between the two tables, between the different tables. So you see how it is being related. So let's just get on to our PowerPoint presentation here, where we'll be explaining on this model view. So let's just get to where we have the model view. So the model view is relationship with tables. So you can see from your you can see from here the relationship between tables. So data models in Power BI are the foundation for creating insightful reports. They represent the relationship between different data sets and provide a structure for performing complex calculations and analysis. Okay, so the key component of the data models. So in the data model, we have tables. So these are the individual data sets that you import into Power BI. Each table contains rows and columns. Okay, so we can see it over here. So each of those tables we can see. Let's just okay, so you can see the sales table over here, and this is the columns that are inside the sales table, the region table. Okay, so we can see how they are related. Okay, you'll get to understand their relationship. So once you come over here, let's try to expand so that you can see clearly. Okay, so let's put it this way. So we can see okay, so we can see the relationship over here, the relationship between the two tables. We can see the relationship between the customer table. Okay, you can see it now. The relationship between the customer tables and the sales tables. Okay, okay, so you can come here and once you click on this line, you see the line it becomes deeper, and once it becomes deeper, the properties here shows. So you can see how these two tables relate to each other. So you can see the first table here, sales table. This is the sales table, and we can see the column ID, account ID, showing you that the account ID relates to this other account, the customer table. So you can see the customer table has a column called account ID. So they are related. These two tables is related by the account ID. Okay. So the account ID is related. Account ID in the customer table is related to the account ID in the sales table. Okay. So you can see the cardinality many to one. Okay. So let's just go to our slide to explain some information. So the columns, these are individual fields within a table. So every table it has a column. Okay. So they represent specific attribute or characteristics of the data. So the relationship now, these are the connection between tables that define how data is related. Okay. So relationships are typically based on common keys in the tables. Okay. So let's just move on to the next slide. So example, let's look at a simple sales data model. So consider a sales data model like we just showed you that include the following tables, which is the orders, which contain information about individual sales transaction, including the order ID. Okay, so an order table has a column called orders ID, product ID, customer ID, quantity, and price. And the product table contains information about products, including product ID, product name, and category. So the customer table contains information about customer, including customer ID and customer name and address. Okay, so Now the relationship now, cardinality is the relationship between two tables. Cardinality is the relationship between two tables. So from here you can see the relationship between the sales tables and the customers table. So the cardinality, which is the relationship between two of these two tables, is many to one. Okay, it is many to one because the first table here is sales. So you can see this sign over here, that this sign shows many. You can see it over here. Okay, you can see where the cursor is. This sign shows many, and this sign shows one. So because the first table shows here as sales table, so that is why we have many to one. So if the customer service was here on top and the sales table was down, so we're going to have one to many. So the relationship between the sales and customer table is many to one relationship. Okay, so one to many cardinality means this refers to a relationship between two tables where one rows in the first table can be related to many rows in the second table, but not the other way around. Okay, so one to many. So let's say, for example, let's go to our Power BI depth. So one to many. So there's one row. There's one row in this customer service called customer table. There's one row in this customer table that relates to many rows in the sales table. So that is what it means by one to many. Okay, so there's one row in one rows in the customer table that relate to many rows in the sales table. Okay, so that is what one to many cardinality means. So example of one to many cardinality relationship is a customer can have many orders. Okay, but an order belongs to only one customer. So let's try to understand. A customer can have many orders. So let's say if one customer can go to a supermarket to order for different products. Can order for milk. Can order for the sugar. It can order for biscuits. Can order for Indomie. Okay, so this is a one to many relationship, as one customer can be related to many others, but not the other way around. So a relationship between a customer and the order can be one to many relationship. Okay, so that is what we have here in the relationship between the customer tables and the sales tables. So we have here a customer who had so many, who made an orders. Okay, so the relationship between the customer table and the sales table here is the one to many relationship. Okay, so let's just move on to the next slide. So the another relationship is many to one cardinality. So it refers to a relationship between two tables where one rows in the first table can be related to many rows in the second table, but not the other way around. Okay, we explained about that. We explained that earlier on. So example of many to one relationship: consider two tables where we have products, which is the many side, and category one side. Okay, so we have a product, different kind of products, but the category can be one. Okay, so for example, we have a category called skin product. Okay, so different kind of skincare like cream, different kind of creams. Okay, but the category can be only one. Okay, so multiple product can belong to the same category, but a category can only have one product. But the category can only have one product associated with it, and not the other way around. The example of many to one relationship is: consider two tables, products, which is many side, and category one side. So multiple products can belong to the same category, but a category can only have one product associated with it, and not the other way. And not the other way around. Okay, so category can only have only one kind of product. Okay, so let's say this is a skin product. So that category is for skin products. Okay, so let's say this is for foodstuff, and that category is for foodstuff. Okay, so that's a many to one relationship. Okay, so another relationship is one to one relationship. So one record in this relationship, one record in the first table can be associated with multiple records in the second table, but a record in the second table can only be associated with one record in the first table. Okay, so example of this relationship, one to one relationship: a customer can have multiple orders. Okay, but an order belongs to only one customer. So let's just go to our Power BI desktop and check if we have a one to one relationship here. Let's see if we have one to one relationship. This one is one to many. You can see it over here, one to many. So let's just see if we have one to one relationship. Now you can see many to many relationship. We are going to talk about it later on. Okay, so for this model we don't have one to one relationship. We have one to many, one to many. This one is one to many, or many to one rather. If you start from a web event, so it's many to one relationship. Okay, so the region table and the sales web table, the relationship, the cardinality is many to one. Okay, so these out tables are related. So once you import your data into the Power BI desktop, the Power BI will automatically create relationship, as you see it here. So once we imported those data, it automatically create this relationship. So once you come here, you just click on these lines, you see that the relationship will keep changing. Okay, so once you click like now, you can also, another thing is that you can manage. Let me show you over here. Okay, so once you come over here, you can right click. If you click on this arrow over here, you can right click and you come to where you have property. You can manage the relationship. Okay, you can create a relationship between your tables. Okay, but automatically once your data is uploaded in the Power BI desktop, the Power BI automatically create this relationship that we have here. Okay, it was Power BI that created this relationship, but you can actually create your own relationship. You want to relate in order to get your visual in the way you want it. You can create your relationship by coming here by right clicking on this arrow. Once you right click and you see property on this, so this is the sales table that and the customer table. So you can see now that its account ID is related to account ID in sales table is related to account ID in customer tables. So you can see the cardinality, the relationship between the two tables is a many to one relationship. Okay, so we can see the cross filter direction is single. Okay, and then once you make these changes, for example, once you can come over here, if you want the account ID in the sales table to relate to the last column in the customer service, you just come here and click on the last, or you want it to relate it to the customer name, which in any way you want your table to relate with each other. So once you click on this, you can see now that the account ID is now related to the customer name in the customer table. So once you do that, you come over here and you make this change, you click on save, you will see that it will change the whole things, and it will affect your visual. Okay, so whatever changes you are making here, it will affect your when you are creating your visualization, it will affect. So once you want to make any change, you come here and click on save. So let's keep it where it was account ID, just click on save. Okay, so let's get to another view. We're done with the model view. Okay, let's just get on to the next view is called DAX query view. Okay, so the DAX query view, it is where we define and manage calculations and measure within your data models. Okay, so this is where you can get your you can write your query over here. You can write your query and you run and get your another view of whatever thing you're looking for. So this is where you can create your measure. You can create a column over here. You can see the mean value over here, and you can just do it in just in a click. And so let's just show you how you can use this that query view. So this that query view is a new view that Power BI brought in. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we can do and explore over here, and you get quick results. Okay, so this is the query that you can write over here, like what we do in SQL. We write a query and we run it, and we see the results. So we can do the same thing in Power BI and get quick response and results. Okay, so now this is an example of a query that you can run in Power BI and you see the results. So it evaluates the top 100 sales data. So once you write this query, you come over here and you just click on run. You'll see that it's going to run and give you a result of the top 100. So this is the 100 rows in the sales data tables. So 100 rows, you can come over here and you can see it's 100 view. Okay, 100 rows. So you can come over here. Let's say you want to have a view of 5 rows. You just come over here. You just write 5. Once you write 5, you come here and run. Okay, you see, we have only 5 rows. So you want to have a view of any row, you come here and change to anything you want to see. Okay. So let's say you want to order it. You want to order it by the, let's say, the price. Okay, the price each. Let's just have a view and see what we can order. You want to order this table by the price. No, let's just use something else. That can we use over here? Okay, so let's just order it by price each. I just want to show you how you can use them. You can write order. You can order by in this query view. Okay, so let's just write the order by. So write the table. Evaluate sales data. That is the table. Evaluate sales data. This is how you start writing a query in the DAX query view. Evaluate the sales data, which is the table, and then you order it by. You order by. Okay, so you see the spaces I'm giving the tabs. Okay, so order by. What do you want to order by? Okay, so let's say we want to order by. So once you come here, let's clean T. So once you come to here, we have sales data. That's the table. So we want to order here. Once you write the sales data table, you have the list of column that you want to the list of column over here. You can choose any column that you want to use to order. Okay, so let's just use you want to order by sales. Okay, so once you do that, so this is the table and this is the column. So you want to order the sales data by the sales column. So once you do the write the query, you can come over here and you run it. Okay, you can see it's running. Okay, so you can come over here and you see. So this is your table. Okay, and it is being ordered by the sales data. So you can see it is increasing. It is increasing to the highest value. Okay, over here 11.995. Remember it was 2.9. So before the value was scattered around, but now you've ordered it from ascending to descending. Okay, so we're able to write some query over here in the DAX query view. So let's just go to where we are going to see some quick measures. Okay, so let's say this is the sales data. this is sales data. We can just come over here and we see where we have quick queries. So instead of you to start writing queries to bring out the mean value, you write query to bring out the mode and the count. You just come here. Let me show you again. Just come where you have the list of data here. So you can see sales data table where you have your table here. You come to where you have these 30 dots over here. You can see 30 dots here by your right, extreme right. So click on that 30 dots and you see where you have quick query. So just click on the quick query and you can see show top 100 rows. Okay. So instead of you to write a query here like we wrote and then we run, we see the results. You can come here and get quick results over here. So let's just click on show top rows here, top 100 rows. So you can see it's going to show us top 100 rows. So instead of you to just write the query here, you can see top 100 rows over here. Okay. So we just come over here again. Let's show column statistics. Okay, so you can see it's running. Now this is the table called sales data table, and this is the column. Okay, you can see the column in the sales data table. Now you can see the count of those columns, the values, the number that are in that column. Look at the count here over here up to 185,950. Now this is the distinct values. Okay, so you can come here, you can still move to the right. You see the null count 0, and you can see the mean value for these columns. You can see the maximum value for these columns. You can still go and click through. You see the statistics, the median, the mean, the standard deviation for these columns. You can see list of them. You can see there's a lot that we can achieve here in the dashboard view. It's a new view that the Power BI brought in. So there's a lot that you can use and get your result in a shorter period of time. So something will take a longer time in SQL to write queries. You can get quick answers here in Power BI. So I'm just using this Power BI query view. Okay. So I think I've shown you some things that you need to know here. So you come over here to the Excel, right? Click on any tables, any table that you want to check your quick. Just click on it, quick queries. Okay, so you can see top 100 rows, show column statistics, define all measures in this table. Okay, so we are able to explain this for you. See you in the next video.